Well, hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Wild Your Garden. And in this video I'm going to be talking to you guys all about one little plant that can absolutely revolutionise your wildflower meadow. It doesn't matter whether it's 10 square metres or 10,000 square metres. This plant can absolutely change your wildflower meadow for the better. So stick around and let's have a look at what this little plant can do for you. So just quickly guys, before we get started, I should just say, if you're new to the channel, welcome along. If this is the first video you've seen of mine, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, then you will be informed every single time I post a new video, which is on a Wednesday and a Sunday at 6 PM. And this channel is all about the best ways in which you guys can help wildlife in your own garden. So please feel free to subscribe. And obviously we do have a new thanks feature on the channel. So if you enjoy the content and you've learned something from one of my 250 plus videos that I've made for you guys, then feel free to drop me £1 or whatever you like. There's no obligation obviously, but thank you so much to all of you that have supported the channel with this new feature over the recent months. Anyway, that to one side, let's get talking about this brilliant little plant. So the plant in question, well, it's a bit of a giveaway in the title of this video really, but it is of course Yellow Rattle. Now this is a plant that I get asked about a hell of a lot on social media because it is in essence a quintessential part of any wildflower meadow. It is just wonderful. It almost has magical powers, this plant, and we're going to look at that right now. So here I am, I'm in Derbyshire at the moment. I'm working in a garden creating a stream actually on the other side of the garden, and I've actually just done a full garden tour of this fabulous wildlife garden because it really is something else. Although it's a bit dull and overcast today, it was a sunny day when I did this video, and I'll put a link to it at the end of this one. Full garden tour including this gorgeous wildflower meadow behind me, and it's got loads of other features: a wildlife pond, herbaceous borders, a mini orchard. It's got, you name it, it's absolutely in this garden. So check out that video guys. But I couldn't help but want to bring you this video today from this setting because behind me, all over the place, right the way through all of this wildflower meadow behind me, is this fabulous little plant, which is of course the Yellow Rattle. Now, where does it get its name from? Well, it gets its name because later on in the year, obviously it's flowering now, we're the first week of June now, and it's been flowering for best part of a week, give or take, and it's really beautiful. The flower is incredible. It's this lovely, almost like little yellow parrot's beak with a tiny little speck of blue on the end. Absolutely gorgeous. I just love it. But it's flowering now, and eventually when it's finished flowering, so in July and then into August, it will obviously go to seed. And when you walk through a wildflower meadow and this is in it, you can audibly hear where this plant is because you hear this sort of tick, 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 which is of course the seed rattling within the seed pods. So absolutely brilliant. It's obviously where it gets its name from, and I just love this plant because of the connotations of an English, if you like, wildflower meadow in the middle of summer, in a peak of summer when everything is just, well, perfect. So yes, I absolutely love it. But it is also very good as a larval food plant for two rare moths, particularly here in the UK. And it's also visited by a lot of bees. So I've seen, for example, over the last couple of days, common carder bees using nectar or getting nectar from it, red-tailed bumblebees as well. So yes, it's a really good plant for wildlife in general, but we're not here to predominantly talk about that. We are here to talk about its magical qualities, and that is how it can help you guys within your own wildflower meadow and helping you to create a wildflower meadow. So how does it do it? Well, it's actually a semi-parasitic plant, and it's one that does attach itself to the roots, if you like, of other grasses. Now let's say, for example, you have an area that you're looking to try to sow wildflowers into. You've spent your good hard-earned cash on some wildflower seeds, you've thrown them in the area expecting to get all these lovely blooms come up, and nothing happens. And the chances are that's because the grass has a lot of vigor, and it's some of our more vigorous species, so they are going to be way and above the seeds when they're trying to germinate. So let's say, for example, you've thrown some seed in there, it's gone to germinate. Well, the grasses will be quickly shading them out depending on when you've sown it, and obviously we'll come on to how this plant can help you guys and when you should be sowing it in your own meadow in a few moments time. But in essence, chances are the grasses are too vigorous and they've swamped out all the other wildflowers. So it can be really soul destroying. But you have an ally in this little beauty of a plant, because what it is, as I say, is a parasitic plant that will live off the roots of these grasses, and sometimes other wildflowers as well, but predominantly grasses. So what it does is it parasitizes itself onto the host plant, if you like, and it dramatically weakens the grasses because it's effectively sapping the energy out of the plant. So as this plant moves through a meadow, and I should say it's an annual, so it has its entire life cycle like a poppy or a cornflower within the space of a year. So it germinates, grows, flowers, seeds, dies within the space of a year. And as it moves through a meadow, you get it sort of moving in drifts, if you like, from one year to the next. Absolutely fascinating to see. You can see the height of the grasses tailing off behind this plant where it has been in the previous year. So it's absolutely brilliant. Well, how does that help you guys, I hear you say? Well, what it does is it weakens these plants so that it enables new wildflowers to spring up more easily and germinate more easily where this plant has been in previous years. So it's like the meadow maker's friend, if you like. It just kind of drifts through a wildflower meadow year after year after year. So it's absolutely brilliant, and it's really, really beneficial for you guys. Obviously, if you're looking to buy any, we do have it for sale on the online shop, wildyourgarden.com. Do check that out. And I should say as well, guys, there are other ways you can create wildflower meadows, and we'll come on to this method in a moment. But if you're looking to, for example, if your area isn't massive and you're looking to plant, say, 9cm potted plants or plugs, usually I would recommend 9cm potted plants. I have done a full video on how to make a mini wildflower meadow, which is a surefire way of making sure that these plants, you don't have to wait for them to germinate from seed. They've got an established root and they are going to be in your lawn and coming up with flowers in the same year. So check out that video, and obviously we do offer those on the online shop as well. A lot of the wildflowers that are A, behind me here, and B, all the ones I mentioned in that video. So do check that out. But let's talk about if you're establishing a wildflower meadow from seed, for example, now. So that's going to be applying the seeds to your existing grass areas. Now, as I say, the 9cm potted plants I find are usually better, but of course this applies to large scale as well. And if you've got an acre, 2 acres, 10 acres, where you're looking to try and lessen the grasses and increase the wildflower diversity, then Yellow Rattle can be a really, really good ally in all of these situations. So as it's moved through the meadow, you can then apply the wildflower seeds after it has done so. What I would recommend is to cut down your wildflower meadow or your long grassy area, as it may be at the moment, at the end of summer. So cut it down, say September, October time, and then sow the Yellow Rattle into it. We'll come on to the wildflowers in a moment, but sow the Yellow Rattle into it, because but make sure you give it a good sort of dethatch first, if you like, with a metal spring rake or leaf rake. So cut, collect, remove the vegetation. That's the key point in all of this, as with any other hay cut. And obviously check out some of the previous videos on wildflower meadow management that I've done on the channel. But cut and remove those arisings, if you like, then give it a really good rake through to make sure you've got kind of an open sward, if you like. You can almost see the bare earth at the bottom. That will give the plant the best chance of germinating, because it can get contact with the ground and obviously find and search out those roots of the other host plants. So the best time to sow it is after you've done this hay cut, in the autumn time, September, October, usually any time from when it's naturally flowering in the wild or when it's seeding in the wild, so August right the way through, traditionally up until the middle of December or Christmas, there or thereabouts. But I tend to sow mine sort of up to the end of October, just to make sure you make the most of the cold snaps, because this is the key element. The seed needs the cold snaps, if you like, to break down the husk of the seed so that the seed can then germinate in the spring or after the frosts have finished. So it's vital that you sow it before. If you sow it simply in the springtime, chances are it won't do anything. It'll just lay dormant for the rest of the year, and it won't actually break down until the frost the following autumn. So the best time to sow this seed is September, October and into November in my book. That's when I would traditionally sow it into your wildflower meadow. So that's the best time to sow it into your meadow. And then what I would do is I would give it a year. If you're then looking to try to establish more wildflowers in your existing meadow or your existing long grass area, then I would recommend giving this plant a year to move its way through the meadow. So behind it you'll visibly see shorter grasses the following year, and that's when you can add the wildflower seeds into this area, because they'll have more chance, and they will definitely be better off because the grasses are shorter, they've got more light, they've got less competition, less chance of being shaded out. So it's better all round if you let this plant work its magic for a year or two before you then try and sow plants into the meadow. So I hope that's given you an insight as to the wonderful abilities of Yellow Rattle. Obviously, if you are in the UK, guys, and you are looking to create any wildflower meadows on a bigger scale, or indeed within your own back garden, or you just want a consultation as to exactly how you can improve your garden for wildlife, then do drop us a line, enquiries@wildyourgarden.com. Obviously, I do travel the UK making habitats like this, along with many others such as the wildlife ponds and all the other videos you may have seen before. But obviously I do try and help as many of you as possible with these videos, the consultations, the designs, everything else in my hectic life, to make sure we can create as many habitats for wildlife as possible. So do get in touch if you guys are looking to create any wildflower meadows, as I say. But I hope this video has inspired you guys to get some of the Yellow Rattle. Like I say, check out the wildyourgarden.com online shop to see if you can get hold of some. I think we have some available at the moment, depending on when you watch this, but we certainly will as we go through the year. So yes, thank you so much for watching, guys. Do drop some comments below if you have any further questions, but hopefully this has explained the benefits of Yellow Rattle and just exactly why it is known as the meadow maker's friend and why it is a quintessential plant within a wildflower meadow. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give the video a like, and I'll be sure to bring you guys many more ways in which you can help wildlife in your own garden in videos to come. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.